In January 2026, Google removed Stremio from the Play Store. 19 days later, it was back. That same month, Apple kicked it off the App Store. Amazon pulled it from Fire TV, and none of it mattered. Because today, Stremio has over 30 million users worldwide. It's available on Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, Samsung TVs, LG TVs, even MetaQuest headsets. It streams movies, TV shows, live channels in up to 4K HDR, and it costs absolutely nothing. The entire streaming industry, Netflix with its 301 million subscribers, Disney Plus with 131 million, HBO Max with 127 million, has spent billions building walled gardens, and 2 developers in Bulgaria built a free app that lets you walk through every single wall. If you want to see how the internet's most unkillable app outsmarted every tech giant on the planet, hit like and subscribe, because this story is about to get very uncomfortable for some very powerful people. In 2015, the MPAA killed Popcorn Time, the app the internet called the Netflix of piracy. They won court orders in Canada and New Zealand. They seized the domain, and the streaming industry celebrated. Piracy was dead. Days later, 2 guys in Bulgaria launched its replacement, except this time, they built it to be legally unkillable. Their names were Ivo Georgiev, a developer, and Dimo Stoyanov, a graphic designer. Friends in Sofia who'd been tinkering since 2012 with a question nobody in Hollywood wanted asked: what if you could stream a torrent the way you stream Netflix? Click a movie, it plays, no downloads, no waiting, no corrupted files. They'd already built a working prototype called Cinematic, and they saw something everyone else missed. The problem with piracy wasn't the content. Torrent sites had bigger libraries than any streaming platform. The problem was the experience. It was ugly, complicated, and dangerous. Georgiev and Stoyanov didn't want to build another piracy tool. They wanted to build a media center, one hub that could pull from Netflix, YouTube, torrent sites, anything, and make it all feel like one seamless service. They registered a company called SmartCode OOD in Sofia in 2014. On February 8, 2015, Stremio went live. And while Hollywood was busy celebrating the death of Popcorn Time, something far more dangerous was already growing in its place. Because while Popcorn Time was a product they could kill, Stremio was an architecture they couldn't even touch. Here's why Popcorn Time died and Stremio didn't. Popcorn Time baked piracy directly into its code. Torrent streaming wasn't optional, it was the entire product. One target, one kill shot. Stremio learned from that mistake. Out of the box, Stremio doesn't stream a single frame of pirated content. It's a content aggregator, a shell. It shows you what's available on Netflix, YouTube, Amazon. It's basically a really pretty search engine for entertainment. But, and this is the part that drives the streaming industry insane, Stremio has an add-on system. Third-party developers can build plugins that connect Stremio to virtually any content source on the internet, including torrent sites. The most popular add-on is called Torrentio. It scrapes content from over 20 torrent providers: the Pirate Bay, 1337X, RARBG, Kickass Torrents, and more. Install Torrentio, and Stremio transforms from a legal content aggregator into, effectively, a free streaming service with the largest library on the planet. But Stremio doesn't make Torrentio, doesn't host it, doesn't promote it. The add-on lives on a completely separate website. As one Hacker News user put it, Stremio smartly avoids being killed by making pirating an optional plugin you install from another site, so they get deniability. What they promised, a legal media center; what they delivered, the most elegant piracy tool ever built, and no one could do a thing about it. But if you think the add-on system is what made Stremio explode, wait until you see what the streaming industry did next. If Stremio had launched into a world where streaming was cheap and simple, maybe it would have stayed niche, a curiosity for power users. But the streaming industry had other plans. The numbers don't lie. In January 2025, Netflix raised prices across every tier. The standard ad-free plan jumped to $17.99 a month. Disney Plus Premium climbed to $18.99 by October. Apple TV Plus hit $12.99, a 30% increase. HBO Max raised all 3 tiers. YouTube TV surged to $82.99 a month, up from $35 when it launched in 2017. That's a 137% increase in 8 years. According to reviews.org, the average American household spent $3,350 per year, $278 every single month, on streaming and TV services in 2025. That's not cheaper than cable. That is cable, with extra steps. And it gets worse. Netflix cracked down on password sharing in 2023. Disney Plus went from ad-free at launch to ad-supported as default. Amazon Prime Video, a service people were already paying $14.99 a month for, added mandatory ads in 2024, then charged an extra $2.99 to remove them. Now imagine someone. Let's call her Maria. She's 28. Lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, works 2 jobs. She used to pay for Netflix and Disney Plus. That was $25 a month. Manageable. Then Netflix raised prices 3 times in 2 years. Disney Plus added ads to the plan she was already paying for. She'd come home after a 12-hour shift, open her laptop to watch a movie, and the first thing she'd see was an ad for a car she couldn't afford, on a service she was already paying for. One night, Maria saw a tweet. Someone had shared a screenshot of an app that looked like Netflix. Clean interface, movie posters, one-click play. Except everything was free. No ads, no subscription. The app was Stremio. Now multiply Maria by 30 million. In 2024, Stremio went viral on Twitter. Users weren't just downloading it, they were evangelizing it. Every price hike, every new ad tier, every removed feature, every crackdown, each one was a recruitment ad for Stremio. The streaming industry didn't just create the demand for piracy, they funded the entire marketing campaign. By late 2025, Stremio had grown too big to ignore. And here's how you know the streaming industry was scared. They didn't just go after the piracy add-ons. They went after the app itself, including the version that had 0 piracy features. Imagine that. Imagine building a product so dangerous that even the neutered, stripped-down, fully compliant version of it gets banned from the Apple App Store. That's what happened to Stremio Lite in January 2026. No torrent support, no piracy add-ons. Apple kicked it off anyway, but the assault started earlier. Christmas Day 2025, Google suspended Stremio from the Play Store. No public explanation, no warning. Millions of Android users woke up to find the app had vanished. Stremio's developers confirmed the takedown on Reddit, but couldn't share details. 19 days later, on January 13th, 2026, Stremio was back on Google Play. Same app ID, same features, nothing changed. The developers posted a 3-word blog, "We're back." That same month, Amazon removed Stremio from its App Store just weeks after officially adding it in December 2025. Fire TV users who had celebrated the official release were left scrambling. Google, Apple, Amazon, the 3 biggest gatekeepers in tech, all tried to kill Stremio in the same month, and all 3 failed because Stremio doesn't need app stores to survive. The app can be sideloaded on Android through a simple APK from the official website. On iOS, users install the full version through sideloading tools. On desktop, it was never in a store to begin with. Every time they knock it down, it gets back up. You can't kill an app that doesn't need permission to exist. But the real reason Stremio is unkillable isn't the app, it's what's behind it. The real genius of Stremio isn't the app, it's the ecosystem they built around it. Stremio published an open-source SDK, a software development kit, that lets anyone in the world build add-ons, and the community ran with it. As of March 2026, there are over 48 torrent-based add-ons on the community catalog alone. Torrentio, Media Fusion, Comet, the Pirate Bay Plus, each one built by anonymous developers scattered across the globe. The innovation went further. Community developers built AI-powered subtitle translators using GPT-4 and Gemini that translate entire movies in under 2 minutes. They built debreed service integrations, premium cloud resolvers like RealDebreed and Torbox that cache torrent files on remote servers, so users never connect to torrent swarms. No seeding, no IP exposure, just instant buffered high-definition streaming. There's no headquarters to raid, no CEO to subpoena, no server to seize. Stremio is the platform. The add-ons are the community. And the community is everywhere and nowhere. They killed Popcorn Time by attacking its infrastructure. They killed Megapload by arresting Kim.com. They killed LimeWire by suing it into oblivion. But you can't sue an SDK. You can't arrest an architecture. And here's the part that should terrify every streaming executive on Earth. The company behind all of this has never raised a significant round of venture capital. SmartCode OOD is headquartered in Sofia with a team that once had just 15 people, split between Stremio and a blockchain project called add-ons. No billion-dollar war chest, no army of lawyers, no lobbying budget. Meanwhile, Netflix spent over $17 billion on content in a single year. Disney burned through billions building Disney+. Warner Brothers Discovery wrote off $2 billion in content for tax breaks, and all of them are losing users to an unfunded app that two friends built for fun. For perspective, Netflix's annual content budget could fund Stremio's entire operation for roughly 1,000 years, and yet here we are. Let's be very clear about something. Stremio didn't create the piracy problem. The streaming industry did. What they promised in 2015, no more cable bundles, no more ads, watch what you want, when you want, for less. A revolution in entertainment. What they delivered by 2025, rebundled services, mandatory ads on paid tiers, annual price hikes, password sharing crackdowns, content removed without warning from libraries you were already paying for. Disney Plus doubled its price in 4 years, something Netflix took 14 years to do. One consumer told CNBC, streaming has become as much of a financial burden as cable. Another said, they email and tell you prices are going up by some piddly amount like $1 or $2. Next thing you know, you're paying double what it started out to be. And the cruelest irony? Research from Deloitte shows that 50% of Gen Z and millennials consider watching YouTube influencer videos to be the same as watching streaming content. The streaming giants aren't just competing with piracy apps, they're competing with free content on social media, and they're losing both fights because they forgot the one rule that matters. Conveniency and value always win. Always. That's the lesson Napster taught the music industry in 1999. It's the lesson Popcorn Time taught Hollywood in 2014. And it's the lesson Stremio is teaching them right now. They just refuse to learn it. Today, Stremio is available on more platforms than ever. Version 5, released in December 2024, was rebuilt from the ground up. One user on the blog joked it can run on a potato. Another claimed it can run on a banana. But the humor masks something serious. 30 million people didn't choose Stremio because they're criminals. They chose it because the legal alternatives betrayed them. If you ever canceled a streaming service because it raised prices for the third time, if you ever sat through an ad on a platform you were already paying for, if you ever searched for a movie on Netflix and found out it had been removed the week before, you weren't wrong to be frustrated. You were right, and 30 million people agreed with you. Stremio exists because Netflix chose profits over people, because Disney chose ads over loyalty, because every streaming CEO decided that squeezing consumers was easier than serving them. The app they can't kill just proves something the entire industry doesn't want to hear. The internet always fights back. If this story opened your eyes, hit that like button and subscribe. We expose how tech empires get too greedy and how the internet makes them pay. Click the video on screen right now, because the next story might be even worse.